Hello. Okay, so sorry for the choppy recording here, but I've been avoiding recording this video for quite some time, and I was not planning to record this today. However, I knew that it needed to be done. So here I am, messy hair, messy bun, in my little meditation spot. Will maybe show towards the end, but sitting down looking over a bunch of horses that are here in the park for seemingly some event that's happening with lots of horses. And I've been feeling for a while that I needed to talk about a recent experience that I had, but full transparency, I wasn't talking about it. I had talked about it behind the scenes to several people, but publicly, not really, because it was something that felt really vulnerable, and honestly, like, people may think I'm a little crazy, that I might lose followers, lose credibility, etc. And I realized that I'm by not sharing, I'm doing some of the exact things that I advise my own clients against doing, and caught myself in that little bubble of do as I say, not as I do. And that's not how I roll, because I definitely want to lead by example and do the things that I'm encouraging my own clients to do, which is being open, being authentic, being vulnerable, and sharing parts of them. And I had convinced myself, oh, well, because this was kind of more of a behind the scenes thing. Sorry, elbow slip there. I don't need to share all of the details. And I actually had someone recently ask me that was close to me, well, do you really need to share the details of how this all transpired, of what happened? And you'll understand once I tell you more. Like, is it necessary? And I said, well, no, but also yes, because authenticity, authentic expression, being all of you, and not being afraid to share that is what I stand for. And it doesn't feel right to stand for that and then not tell you all about this experience. So drum roll. But anyway, so this experience, it was more than an experience. And you've taught, probably, if you I guess watch my videos or watch me over, on Facebook, LinkedIn, etc., and look at my written content, you may have heard me talking about something's coming, I'm going to be announcing something. Well, and I've talked about it, the concepts of more of an integrative approach to success, to wellness, to all of it, a more collective approach to the way that we serve people, both as coaches, healers, um, you know, all sorts of different things that we're doing, especially those of us that are entrepreneurs in this online space, but it's not really limited to just us. That I've been talking a lot about these concepts for a long time, and it's been my belief for a long time. I've created different memberships, coaching programs, etc., that kind of took this approach of like a group collective, serving people, because I do believe that our success is holistic in nature. It's not one thing or one person that helps us to get to where we want to go. I know for me, I've been helped by so many people in my journey, and I think when we understand that everything is related and we can kind of get to that root cause of what's causing health issues, relationship issues, money issues, etc., and address it from the core, but also doing that with the right people, whether it's one person or a team of people serving us all together at the same time, addressing health, relationships, money all together, it saves time, it saves energy. Because I don't know if you're like me, but I know, like, I started, well, no, I guess maybe not started, but I've gone through so many different things. And 6 years ago, I really started my health journey, 6.5 years ago, which I was able to repair my health, my gut. I was just talking to my husband today. I wasn't even trying to lose weight, but I lost like a lot of weight, and I've been able to maintain it. I can eat foods that I wasn't able to eat 7 years ago. I can do a lot of things that I wasn't able to do. But once my health kind of was more in check, then I was focusing on my business, and I started making money. But then I started, reaching a bit of a plateau where I couldn't seem to kind of go past a certain level without issues. So then I started addressing that root issue, and then issues started coming up in my relationship. And the thing is these weren't different issues. I was just addressing them at different times. So back to, this whole concept of our success is holistic in nature. Like, why can't you address, I mean, I know I've been told by coaches before, well, it's just too much. Most people can't, address health, business, etc., all at the same time. And that's why you kind of have to like focus on one thing. But you know that most of us are also working with someone else. Like, I was working with my naturopathic doctor while working with a business coach, right? And now layering in relationship therapy as well into that. So why can't you address it? And then I've also been told, well, people do that on their own. They don't need you to support them in that way. And that's great. Some people do prefer to figure that out all themselves. But why wouldn't you want a team of people that work together to address all aspects of what's going on for you? And again, a team might be one person, it might be 2 people, it might be 10 people, depending on what's going on for you and what's best in that current moment. So this has been the thing that's been brewing in my mind for so long that I haven't talked a whole lot about directly. And I've created different iterations of it. In the past, it was a lot more strategic in nature. I thought it was really just about business. So it was like I'd bring in marketing experts and sales experts and funnel builders. And then I'd have the yoga person and the mindset person too. But it was really a lot more focused around business than anything. And it just never felt quite right for me. And there was various aspects, and I also can admit that I was not probably at the point where I was able to handle and to handle the embodiment necessary. I wasn't in that level of embodiment necessary to hold the space that I needed to in order to build what I really had wanted. And I've been doing so much, like many of you, to really evolve beyond the old ways of thinking, to really create more ease in my business. That's how it started out, and that's what I wanted. And then somewhere along the way, I shifted and went way more into like the hustle and the do mentality. So I've been doing, work on myself for the last couple of years and really trying to shift things because I didn't want my business the way it was. I didn't care that I was making a lot of money if I wasn't actually happy with the way it was going and the way business was going, the way my life was going, just the way that it was. So I knew, coming back to this whole concept, I knew that this dream that I had of creating something, it wasn't gone. Because I've done memberships. I've even done like integrative private coaching containers where I bring people together. And I knew it was something much bigger than me, a bigger concept, and that it needed to be brought into fruition, regardless of whether or not people thought that it was doable, that it was possible, that it was realistic, because it's never been done, like that before. And you need to just focus on yourself, and people can figure out what support they need for themselves. And yes, absolutely, as I was saying before, they can. But I knew that I was here to create something different. So now back to the story. I already did the drum roll. But so a few weeks ago, I had decided, really, I'm just not going to push this. I'm just going to kind of like keep going. I had decided to kind of like do like a little beta of starting this vision that I had again. And it just hadn't felt right, but I just kept pushing and trying to figure it out and selling it anyway. And I had sold one spot and I just knew that it wasn't right. So I kind of just like took a step back and sat with it and decided, honestly, it doesn't feel right. And I'm going to offer something to the person who signed up and just not have to control it, figure it out. So I did that and I took a little time to take a step back to see, okay, what is it that I really want? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to create this? And I mean, I'm not going to get into all of the details, but had some sessions with one of my mentors. Had some really in-depth conversations with my husband, and it was just kind of like this moment after all of this, and I was just sitting with myself and had just done a meditation, come out of a meditation, And it was like this sudden feeling of connectedness, of knowing, of like something else, someone else kind of moving through me. And as I said earlier, I didn't share this because I really thought that some people may think that I was crazy, that they would judge me, that they would stop following me, that they wouldn't believe me, even people like in my family friend circle. But I truly believe that what that wasn't just, oh, all of a sudden I figured it out after so many years. It was no, like I kept over the years, I've been given the little crumbs, as many of us have, of this is the next move, this is the next aligned action. And it had never been like this though, where I felt so connected to source, universe, God. I really am believing more now that it is a connection directly to the divine, to God, that God really is within all of us, my higher self, all of those things. And the clarity that came through was beyond anything. There was no forcing. There was no, how do I create this? What do I need to do? It was a completely channeled download of, this is exactly the type of community that you're going to create. These are all of the different tiers and what you're going to do. This is how you'll bring people into it. And these are the names of the people you need to reach out to that are going to be a part of it with you, that are going to start. And this is the first step. This is the first aligned action. This is the first layer of this I don't want to even say program, community. It's a movement. And I there will be more coming. I can't tell you all of the details of what it is, but it felt really raw and vulnerable for me, because I did get a list of names of people to reach out to, and I did start reaching out to them. And just said, hey, your name was on this list that I got a divine download, and this is why I'm reaching out. Do you want to hear more? And oh my God, it made me sick to reach out to people and say these things, because again, a lot of these were people that I knew, some of them not as well. But I know for myself, when I've had reach outs before of oh, I just got this feeling, this intuitive nudge that I should reach out to you. I would judge that in the past. And I do think that some people just use that as a sales tactic, but I think that some people legitimately have that feeling. And I had actually had a woman reach out to me about 7 months ago, which the connection with her, it was something similar, where she just got that nudge to reach out to me. And the relationship that I've built with her has changed my business, changed my marriage, changed my life in many, many ways. And I remembered that, and remembered, I needed to reach out to these people, regardless of whether they believed me, regardless of whether it was just, a rejection and I had to face that, or whether they were just completely on board with my kind of crazy and believed everything that I said. I needed to do that. So that's what I started doing, is I started reaching out to these people and telling them exactly what had happened, what had gone on, what my beliefs were, and what it was that I was creating, and why I thought that they were meant to be a part of it. All of it, all of me sharing myself authentically, expressing exactly how I felt and how I want to show up in the world. Because that's the thing, we're here to be authentic. We're here to express our truth. And my truth is that I'm extremely intuitive, and something that I haven't actually said out loud to a lot of people is a little bit psychic as well. And I have been my whole life, and I haven't said that. I haven't talked about it because it's something that, well, definitely is not a thing in my family, and that I myself judged for a long time. And I'm still coming to terms with the fact that I do have these gifts, and it's not something that I need to hide. It's not just a fluke that all of these coincidences and synchronicities have happened throughout my life. These visions that I've had coming true, it's for a reason. And I wanted to come on here because I think a lot of you have had similar experiences. And I don't believe that we need to necessarily be oh, well, you're not alone and whatever, because hopefully we all know that we're not alone and there's other people experiencing similar things. But I also feel sometimes it's not talked about. And I've seen so many people walk away from their dreams, their careers, their businesses. Lately, even a lot of people who are really successful having issues, and a lot of them aren't talking about like the reality of what's happening behind the scenes. They're not expressing themselves authentically. They're not being all of them, and that's why things are starting to crumble. So for me, it's uncomfortable, but it's the work, and it's what we're here to do, is to be ourselves, to express ourselves authentically. And we're here for a certain person, whether that's in your relationship as a like a partner, whether it's your friendships, or whether it's with your clients. The only way to attract the right people, the right opportunities, the right things, and the prosperity that you want, and the health and everything that you want in your life is to be yourself. Because when you're not, that is when relationships fall apart. That's when your business doesn't work the way you want to, whether you're hustling and overworking in order to make money, or you're just not making the money that you want. And it's when I said your reality, your paradigm will crumble, and we are no longer here for the old paradigm. Those that follow astrology, or you know the cosmos, you might already be familiar, but this year we've had some shifts, and I knew about these shifts, and I had heard about them, but experiencing them has been another story for me. So ultimately, I just wanted to come on here, share this experience. If you align with this message, like what I am here to do is to help other people to authentically express themselves, to step into that. And I do that all the time, and hence why I'm here again, just kind of being really raw and real with you, to show you like this is what we're all here to do. This is what you're here to do too. If you're still watching and resonating with this message, chances are you've been feeling the same way. So reach out and let me, let's have a conversation about how I can help you to really step into that in your relationships, in your business, because you deserve to thrive in all areas of your life and be paid really fucking well for being authentically you. And that's what I'm here to help you do. So have a great day, and we'll talk soon.